Hey there, it's Fresh Mark Sent with another fresh review. Today, the reason why I'm dressed like this is because we're going to be doing a Bruce Lee special. Yep, I dressed up in the morning and I thought I dress like Bruce Lee. Just today in the morning, I thought, who else dresses like this? And I think that all inspiration is either copied or either it's imitation, it's something God given from above, or it's your own invention of something that you've already altered from the past. So, by all means, this is going to be a Bruce Lee special for the dragon himself. And I searched it up on Google, and there are some fragrances online actually sold by Bruce Lee Enterprises, which is a company run by the daughter of Bruce Lee, Shannon Lee. And she has decided to make 3 fragrances that encapsulate the spirit of the dragon. So, without further ado, let's talk about these fragrances released in 2012. There are 3 fragrances. One is a woody natural scent by the description of the company called Don't Think Feel. Yes, it's a great name. But I think it's kind of corny, but whatever. So Don't Think Feel is a woody natural scent. We're going to get into woody natural scents. The next one is a spicy aggressive scent that is called Anger Blind. So this is supposed to be a fiery tempest of fury, something like that. I can imagine something spicy and aggressive, they say. And the last one is an elegant casual scent called Be Water. Now, I haven't tried any of these scents, but I'm pretty sure that I could probably do better in terms of finding a scent that matches those profiles. So, let's go straight into it with the woody natural perfumes. My number one go-to perfume of choice for woody scents, Jimmy Choo Man Blue. Now, this is a fantastically fresh, dry, woody cypress. If you spray it in the air, you get a little bit of pepper. That clary sage keeps it fresh. Nice herbal touch to it. Nice herbal touch to support the greenness of the cypress wood note. There is some, there are more woods in the base, which is sandalwood, and a little bit of vanilla to keep it creamy, but it never strays from being woody perfume. But don't spray it, oh, sorry, in a confined space, because it may make you cough as a delayed reaction to the pepper. But all in all, it's very smooth on the skin. Jimmy Choo Man Blue, definitely check that out as a casual or woody natural scent. It doesn't really say casual in the description, so you can wear it for the office place and you can wear it casually, so that's fantastic. Next one is Mansura Black Gold. Yes, Bruce Lee was a flashy character. We all know that he liked expensive cars and expensive clothes, dressing up like a superstar, as you do when you get rich, because that's what he was. He was a superstar, and he may have gone for the flashy bottle, but this is a very natural, slightly woody scent with the it's got that oud in it. The oud note is subtle, dry, woody, yet bitter, and that clashes with the mineral C notes and slight lavender note to give it some sweetness. It's a soft, foamy crash on the beach kind of mineral wave scent where it's just a ripple. It's not something too evasive. It's not extremely blue or icy like a deodorant or anything. It's got completely creamy lavender and nice mineral C notes to give it that sweetness, but also remind you of a casual, relaxed, cold day at the sea. So if you wanted to be water, I know this isn't under the be water, this is under the woody natural. I feel that this is a fantastic scent. This can also be under the bee water because it has that flow of sweetness, and it also has some strength behind it with the woody notes and slight nutmeg and citruses just to give it a kick. So this is no slouch, but it's a very relaxed and natural perfume, woody natural perfume. The next one is all about the woods and vetiver. Cat Wood by Mansura is a woody, it's got cypress in it, just like Jimmy Choo Man Blue, but I believe that the cypress is a lot more green, and the perfume ends up being very dry with the grapefruit, sour grapefruit, leading into very sour and dry vetiver. Instantly, the vetiver hits with grapefruit, and then the woody elements sort of resurge out of the perfume. The dry woody elements. I believe this has some oak moss in the base too. Slightly damp wood note, but I feel that it's kind of synthetic, that oak moss, and it's more about the vetiver. So the vetiver and the wood really makes this perfume, the woody cypress. Fantastic perfume. I can't get my nose off it. It smells like a replacement for Tom Ford's vetiver, grey vetiver. That's the one. So definitely check that one out. It's much cheaper as well than Tom Ford's grey vetiver. So if you want to replace one, check that out. Next one, moving on, is the spicy aggressive scents. Anger blind. What would I choose for something aggressive? Usually when people talk about aggressive things, they think of something very spicy, or maybe something with tobacco in. This Floriento by Comas Diz Garçon is a beautifully pungent clove plum. It's got tobacco, spices, plum, amber. The amber gives it sweetness, and it gives it respite from being completely tobacco and spicy. And the plum really cuts through with the amber, as giving it a breath of sweetness, syrupy, tangy sweetness, contrasting the spices with the deep, smoky tobacco note. This is a very rich, indulgent perfume. Yeah, it has a clove punch to it as well. That reminds me of something on fire, something constantly burning, like maybe somebody in an interview. But actually, I'll get to that scent. I think the interview scent for somebody who is spicy and aggressive is Flagship 2 by Dua. Now, this has juniper berries to keep you cool, but it also has saffron to give you sweetness, maybe for the camera, and to make you feel uplifted and happy, but a spiciness to show that you've got an edge, and not to mess with me, and not to over question, let's say. This seems like a sort of interview scent that will keep you formal, sweet with the bergamot on top, and the cognac will give you some richness to remind you of show business, let's say. I think it's a very rich scent, and perfect for formal occasions where you want to show your tenacity but also your cool nature, with the blueberry like note of juniper berry clashing with the spiciness of saffron, rich woods. And I'm just going to spray this on now. Just can't wait. So nice. Sweet spiciness, cool blue fruity note of juniper berry, woody notes, spicy notes, rich, dense, slightly honeyed oud. It's a fantastic scent, and I think it's a must buy if you like a contrast of cool notes and hot notes. This is an intriguing, fascinating perfume. Flagship 2 by Dua. It's a new love for me, and I've been talking about it for a long time. Now, ever since the beginning, I've been talking about Noit de Izzy, Pulse of the Night by Izzy Miyake. This is spicy frankincense perfume. This reminds me of the Game of Death, when Bruce Lee went out in the nighttime, and it reminds me of the deep night because it's got a cooling factor like the midnight sky, um, but it's made somber by the spicy, harsh frankincense and saffron combination. So it's like Murder in the Night, like the Game of Death when he was in the blue suit and he was like he was really quiet, like the stillness of the night, and then he suddenly strike out with spicy notes of crazy hot bangs, and he was just putting people away. Even Jackie Chan got the worst of it in that scene, I think. Um, Bless him, he was an extra. He just had to get punched in the face. I think he actually got hit in the Rio interview. Maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't like anybody being the only other Chinese movie star at the time. But anyway, I'll probably punch his face and stop him from being on camera too. Maybe. The next one is Crater, because this reminds me of someone being constantly on fire. Like the end of the Game of Death when he was going up the pagoda and he had one boost of fire, like one crazy battle, and the amber notes in it and the benzoin with labdanum. So the labdanum keeps it spicy, fiery, and the benzoin and amber create sweetness and make it melt, so you feel like there's almost perspiration, heat and sweat, but still fire going on. So it feels like he's gone up the pagoda after one explosion, fiery battle, and he's always constantly burning, that constant glow. And that's what the amber and labdanum gives, really. It's that spiciness and that glow. The man on fire who is constantly just escalating through the levels, and he just keeps on going until he hits through the sky and the clouds. That is Crater by Dua. So it reminds me of the man on fire. Maybe not Denzel Washington. He's pretty cool, actually. Anyway, the next one, who is aggressive. They always talk about tobacco scents as being aggressive. Now this red tobacco, am I gonna spray it on my white linen trousers? I don't think so. Spray a little bit over here. I think I'm gonna be overpowered for the rest of the day. This got saffron, apple, plum, tobacco, ultimately rich, ultimately fruity in the beginning with that dried fruit date note. And the apple, it's like a tart apple strudel with dates and raisins. Fantastically fiery, spicy in the beginning, but it's never too much because it's always contrasted by the sweet notes of the dried fruit, the spicy sweet notes of it, and then the jasmine comes into play before it just burns itself out. Then it goes into a sweet plum and rich tobacco, in which it stays that way for many hours. I'd say about 7 hours, and then in the last 2 hours before it starts to reside, you get the vanilla note, which is very similar to, almost identical to Oud Vanilla in the beginning by Mansura, and I've done a review on that, so I can talk about that later. Check that out if you like that. Oud Vanilla. But this is the whole package. This is a full version of it where you get the full opening of dried fruits, a little bit of jasmine and spice in the middle, and that rich tobacco, and then the rich vanilla at the end. So it's got 4 phases. Definitely check that out for something spicy and aggressive. Now let's move on to, I know I've been taking long, but let's do this, right? Elegant Casual Scents, Be Water. Now, the first one that came to mind as an elegant casual scent, although it's kind of formal, is Prada Amber Pour Homme. And I think that if you're a superstar, there is no problem wearing this casually, because people would expect you to be fresh almost, because they'll go, oh, he's a superstar, he's had, like, I mean, I don't know, the treatment or something before he went out of his house. So Amber Pour Homme is that soapy, clean, fresh scent that maybe makes you smell like you went out of the best hotel and you got a free bar soap. But it's It's a casual scent. Light, airy, fresh. The orange blossom and neroli is very uplifting, fantastic for summer. Always give you good vibes. Slightly energizing in the bergamot note on top. Definitely a great summer and spring choice for somebody who wants to stay elegant, casual, and fresh. Amber pour homme. The next one I'm going to do is something slightly spicy, but bergamot. It's got bergamot note in the top with some Camphoreus myrtle, which is slightly spicy, herbaceous, and green. Then it goes into coffee and vanilla, but it's not too sweet with the coffee and vanilla. It stays quite Camphoreous from the beginning, and then at the end, it turns into vanilla scent. So it's a clean, casual, fresh scent. The longevity on it is not really too long. It's about 4 hours, so you can use it in a casual way to stay sweet, elegant, and fresh. Very elegant, typical Italian classic perfume, Valentino Uomo Eau de Toilette. The next one is something fresh, the Eau de Toilette of Sauvage. It's got a lot of class. It's got touches of lavender, big bergamot. So somebody who wants to stay fresh would definitely be blasting out that freshness with Sauvage. I would have picked Why Eau de Parfum as something classic and fresh, because it also has a apple burst. But this is such a classic go-to scent, Sauvage Eau de Toilette. Some people may hate it, but for the confident person who knows what he wants and really loves his perfume, Sauvage Eau de Toilette would never really be off the radar, because it's a classic blue scent with elegance and timelessness that has always tried to be recaptured but never really rekindled. So the next one is Gentleman by Givenchy, the Eau de Toilette Intense, marked by this crazy symbol at the back. This has herbaceous green notes of basil, a little bit of iris and vanilla, very elegant and casual. Definitely could be worn casually to show that you have a sort of sporting attitude about you. The green freshness of it sort of reminds you of that. Then the iris and vanilla means that he's sort of like a people person, so you'd be casual and fresh. Something, if somebody met you, you'd always be ready and clean and fresh, but at the same time, you would have some character about you and be memorable for how good you smell, with a little bit of a spicy characteristic in the top from the basil. That's what I like about it the most, which makes it a sort of Bruce Lee scent, because it's got that welcoming, smiley atmosphere, but he also has a spicy edge, and you know not to mess with Bruce Lee. So definitely check that one out. Gentleman Givenchy Intense Eau de Toilette. And another one, my favorite, D600 perfume by Carner Barcelona. This is a very creamy iris, vanilla. It has vetiver that reminds you of being outside in the grassy outdoors. And I think that someone connected to nature would really enjoy this as iris, vanilla, vetiver scent. It's got so much to give. Now for the rock star or Bruce Lee, the one with the crazy shades. This one would just match his persona of being cool, calm, collected, and have a nice woody, resolute note to it. So definitely check that one out. I'm not going to go through the notes because I had my own personal review of that in the past. So definitely check out my review of that. So the next one, that's for the rock star. And the last one is for the classy, fresh perfume that you can wear casually. This is something Versace Dylan Blue has neroli, fresh oceanic notes, and you definitely feel like water when you are swaying and switching around on the kung fu mat, on the dojo mat. You'll be laying down some crazy moves, because this will make you feel the sweetness of the water, the submersion of the water, and when you are completely under the thunder of all the punches and everything, and you can see through the rain and be water in the ocean, then definitely you will be the master of whatever the situation throws at you. Maybe I just made that up, bun spot, but I think that really means something. So definitely check out Versace Dylan Blue for the oceanic freshness and to feel your groove in the water and be like water. So I hope you like all of those scents. Take care and stay fresh.